Look at that line to the new department store from France. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm in the kitchen today because it's Sunday. I am going to make a Sunday roast. In case you are not familiar, let me introduce you to Sunday roast. I have a wiki page pulled up here. So a Sunday roast or a roast dinner is a British dish traditionally consumed on a Sunday, obviously. If you live near any British Irish pub, they are any in your city, in your town, highly recommend checking out their Sunday roast if they offer any. In the city, I have been to the Dead Rabbit. It is an Irish bar. They do serve Sunday roast. I've had their Sunday roast once before. They do play live Irish music on most days. It's a really fun thing to do, especially if you can make it on Sunday. Besides that, I have the Hawksmoor. They do have a Sunday roast that is really high on my list. So usually a Sunday roast, it consists of roasted meat, roasted potatoes, mashed potatoes, Yorkshire pudding, stuffing gravy, may include condiments such as applesauce, mint sauce, red currant sauce, mustard, cranberry or horseradish sauce. So in case you're not familiar or have never heard of Yorkshire pudding, it is not actually a pudding. It is a type of bread that's made from a batter mixture of flour, egg and milk. It's really simple and easy to make. I've never made it before. It's very similar to a Dutch baby. Same idea, same concept. You mix up the batter, cook it in a very hot Dutch oven. But here we are going to use a muffin tin because we are going to make 6, 8 or 12, it depends. But it's also very similar to a popover. I don't know if any of you have been to Maine, Acadia National Park. There's a really famous restaurant in there called Jordan Pond House Restaurant, and they are known for these popovers. It's a really fun summer activity. We did a little hike around the pond and then you finish at the restaurant. You can order brunch or do lunch or dinner there. So yesterday and this morning I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and TikTok videos, and a lot of the time I see that people pair roast beef with horseradish sauce. I'm gonna make some sort of gravy to drizzle on top of my roast beef, keeping it very simple. And there are also a range of vegetables. You can do broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, parsnips, and peas. Either boil, steamed, or roast alongside with the meat and the potatoes. I'm going to do cauliflower cheese, a mix of roasted vegetables. I'm very excited. This is my first time dealing with this big cut of meat. I went to my local grocery store and picked up this. This is a beef bottom round rump roast. This is about 3.28 pounds. Rump roast is also known as the bottom round roast or round tip roast. It is a cut of beef from the rear leg, hind quarters of the cow. I know it's going to be a little bit more lean, and I am trying to aim at rare medium because of how lean it is, and we don't want to overcook this because it's gonna be so rubbery and dry, and that is my worst fear. I know I should have cut this up and leave it dry in the fridge overnight, but I'm going to do that now. And then I'm going to make my Yorkshire pudding batter, and then we'll leave it in the fridge for a couple hours as well. I'm gonna go clean up my apartment, and then we'll come back later in the afternoon to finish everything and roast all the vegetables. I'm going to use this Mochi baking tray because it fits this piece perfectly. We'll leave this rack on top. We'll give it some good ventilation, tap off the moisture. So I looked up online, and the amount of kosher salt to use as a dry rub over this piece of rump roast is about a teaspoon per pound. I have 3 teaspoons of kosher salt, black pepper. Then we'll leave this in the fridge uncovered because I want it to really dry out in the fridge. Season it from the top. going to stick this into the fridge and let it chill for at least 2 hours. Got eggs, 3 eggs, whole milk, AP flour. I'm going to follow one of these recipes that I wrote down. So we need 3 eggs, 100 grams of flour, and 250 milliliters of whole milk, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of white or black pepper. This small measuring cup has 250 ml measurement, about a cup of whole milk. And then 100 grams of flour. Adding in the milk, teaspoon of kosher salt, white pepper, and slowly adding in the flour. And then we'll just keep whisking until the batter is smooth. I'm gonna strain it to make sure we are getting rid of all of the clumps, even though it doesn't say so in the recipes, but I just want a very smooth batter. Let this batter chill in the fridge for an hour or 2. I am going to prepare all of the vegetables. So here's everything that I'm going to include in our Sunday roast. I have Brussels sprouts. Just use a little paring knife and cut off, trim off. I will slice these in half and then roast them in the oven at the same time as the carrots. I'm gonna do some sort of honey glazed roasted carrots. So we'll peel these and cut these in half lengthwise. Potatoes, we are going to boil them and then roast them in the oven. I have a tiny head of broccoli, a cauliflower. So I'm gonna do cauliflower cheese, this broccoli just for colors. Green beans, we'll roast these as well. This goes into our compost bin. A lot of people throw away the stalk, but I like to eat all my vegetables. This is what I typically do. Go in with your paring knife to kind of cut the stem from the stem and separate the floret. This way there won't be a lot of fallouts. As for these stalky stems, I'm actually going to freeze them and use them in my broth later. Okay, I changed my mind. I think I'm going to make mashed potatoes. It's just because we are dealing with a lot of roasted vegetables today. I want something to have a little bit of a texture different. So I'm going to boil the peeled Yukon potatoes with a little bit of salt for about 20-30 minutes on low or simmer. Drain off the water, add in the butter, milk, a little bit of salt, and some people even use a little bit of nutmeg. I will link the video that I use as a preference in the description box below. But yeah, we are going to make mashed potatoes. I drain off all of the water and I'm gonna let it just cool in the Dutch oven for about 5 minutes. We're going to heat up our milk and butter because I read online that if we adding cold milk, cold butter into our hot potato, it's not going to result in a smooth mashed potato texture. I'm gonna do probably a cup of milk, a little bit more than half of a stick of butter. Now I am going to mash my potato using my potato smasher. You can also use a potato ricer if you have. Here I have my melted butter in milk. This is like a spoon spatula. It's one of my favorite kitchen tool because it's got this really thin, sturdy edge. Also use the bottom of this spoon to make a paste consistency. I'm gonna slowly pour this in. I'm not really sure how much to use. I think at this point I want to season it with a little bit of salt and nutmeg. I have some leftover grated Parmesan. I think I'm just gonna stop there. If I do all of this milk, it's going to be very milky. I'm going to add a little bit of salt in here. To transfer into this baking tray, butter the tray. I'm going to transfer our mashed potato. And then we'll just store this on the kitchen counter. Hey guys, a little bit of time has passed. Here is the plan. I am going to sear all sides on a cast iron, just out on the stove. And then we're going to stick it into the oven and roast it, bake it for about 40 minutes at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I watched so many different videos. People have so many different techniques. And the best technique so far is to use a thermometer or a probe that you can be able to poke into the meat with the little string with the reading outside, and then you would stop at a preferred inner temperature. I wrote down on my little note here, it says rare is 120 to 125 and medium rare is 125 to 130. I would rather aim towards a rare roast than medium roast. I'm gonna try 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes and I'm gonna pour it out and then stick this into the middle part of our roast beef. Get a quick reading and then we'll see how it goes. But I'm aiming towards rare because again, this is more like a rough, more lean cut, so we don't want it to be overcooked because it will be like rubbery and tasteless. So yeah, I'm gonna probably just do mustard as a rub on the outside. I'm gonna use a kitchen towel to just dab off the moisture. I'm going to use my cast iron pan to roast my beef. There's like a lot of things going on in my head because I really don't want to mess it up. I'm gonna clear up everything in here. And also, I don't have beef stock. I have some leftover chicken wings. It's because chicken wing has a really good amount of skin and fat. Cook it on a pan so then the fat could render out. I'm gonna use some of the sliced steak that I have in the freezer as well to give it more beefy flavor, and then just do like a regular gravy. You could also do onion, carrots, and celery. I have carrots, but I don't have celery. Just basically add everything into our pot and kind of create like a quick gravy. Then we'll do like AP flour and then beef dripping. But according to my piece of meat, I don't think we are going to get a lot of beef dripping out of this. Also, I really wish I have a butcher string that I can tie this piece so that it cooked more evenly. I think we will be okay. This is my broth or stock that I made last week. I have like a few of these in there. So instead of using just water to make our gravy, it's again better to use some sort of broth. This one is pork based. So we're gonna do a mixture of pork, chicken, and beef for our gravy, or like a sauce for our roast beef. We're going to chop up 2 shallots, place this at the bottom of our cast iron, kind of create like a little plate of veggies so we could maybe use this in our gravy later. Cut these in quarters and then cut our onions in a similar size. If you have a rack so that the roast beef can be elevated so then air could get into the bottom. I don't have a roasting pan, so I'm going to use again my cast iron pan. Actually, I'm going to turn on the oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna sear each side 2 to 3 minutes. The fat cap placing down. Okay, I'm going to turn it. Here is our seared beef. I have Dijon mustard. I'm gonna brush Dijon mustard all over it. Just like this. We have the fat cap on top. I'm using the shallots basically to help elevate our beef. So shallots in the middle, and then onions. I also drizzle a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna put this into my oven and we'll come back in about 40 minutes. So 1 large cauliflower, 50 grams butter, 50 grams flour, 500 milliliter of whole milk, half a teaspoon nutmeg, and a bay leaf. And about 150 grams of sharp, strong cheddar. I have a mix of cheesemaker's blend from Lanolix from last week when we ate tacos. There's some cheddars in here. And then I also have some of these cheese. I think this is Swiss cheese. If you have sharp cheddar cheese, it's more ideal. It's been about 40 minutes already. I'm going to check on my roast beef. Here I have my thermometer, so we are aiming towards 120 to 125 degrees. Wish me luck. Into the center. I don't know, it doesn't look like it's turning. As you saw, we have a little hiccup. Oh, I'm so mad. We bought that little thermometer probably like 4 years ago. I bought it for the purpose of frying chicken wings, do these kind of roasts, but I don't really, as you can see, I don't have much experience because I don't do a lot of it. So that was a fail because the stick didn't move. I don't know, I have doubt roasting it at 300. So now I am increasing the oven to 400 so that I could roast my cauliflower. And then we're just gonna keep an eye on the meat and then we'll just slice it in half and see what's the status in the middle. I think, I don't know, there's a way to roast it so that it's rare. I already seared it and then I already bake it for 40 minutes at 300 and nothing happened. Most of the guides that I see online, you are supposed to roast it for 325 degrees Fahrenheit for an hour and a half. So I did sear it and I did roast it for 40 minutes. Nothing was done, so I believe I should let it go for another 30 minutes to 40 minutes. So now at this point I'm going to time it for 30 minutes. I'll stick my cauliflower in there and roast my cauliflower. At this point I kind of run out of patience, because if my roast beef is too rubbery, too done, then what's the point of doing everything else? But yeah, that's the most important part. Anyways, cauliflower cheese, 400 and for 20 minutes. We take it out and then we add the cheese sauce and roast it for another 30-40 minutes. As you can see, this is our stock for the gravy later on. There are chicken wings, some slices of beef, a carrot chopped, and then rosemary and lots of seasoning. It smells really good. Basically, I added some water and that whole container of pork-based broth. I've been kind of cook it on simmer to help extract all the flavor, and then later on we are going to filter it out and use this to make our gravy. As you can see, I just want it to like fall off the bone. So 30 minutes has passed, so my roast beef is done roasting. I am hoping, I don't know, I'm going to have to cut into it and then see the progress. I see better colors than before. Lots of browning at the bottom. Oh my gosh, I think this is good. Yes, we're done. I know it's not red, but who knows what's the inner temperature. I think it's going to be a little bit more rare than what I can see out here. I'm gonna let it rest on the counter with a little bit of foil on top. I'm gonna cover this, just like the top a little bit. In this bigger baking tray, I have my carrots. I'm gonna do honey glaze. So I have my instruction here, 375 for 20 minutes, top rack, cut side down, and then we take it out to drizzle honey and black pepper and then roast for another 15 minutes. And then I'm gonna cut these Brussels sprouts. I have this pan. I'm going to roast my green beans, olive oil, salt, pepper. Remove this from heat. I'll start broth. Just transfer all the bits over. I like the color that I'm seeing as well. I think I can do a little bit of AP flour and butter in here. AP flour. We are testing the consistency. As long as it's good enough to coat the back of the spoon like this. Going to add in my chopped rosemary and thyme. Please excuse the mess. We are almost there. We have Yorkshire pudding. So do you remember the batter? I took it out and now it's at room temp. Hopefully it's still going to be okay. Still have some of the veggies that are being roasted. Somehow the oven was turned off, so I had to turn it back on to 400. We are going to make our Yorkshire pudding at 400 degrees anyway. So I'm going to stick this muffin pan that I have into the oven for 15 minutes, adding a tablespoon of oil at each of these. Well, I think this makes 6. Stick this muffin pan with the oil in the oven at 400 degrees for 15 minutes, and then after that we are going to take it out and then pour in our batter, and then we'll bake it for 25 minutes at 400 degrees and do not open the oven door. So that's the game plan. Hopefully all of the veggies are all done and ready and I can be able to bake these in peace. Potatoes. I think I could get some browning on top, but it should be fine. If you watched last week's video, you saw me unbox this cute little stainless steel cup, George Jensen stainless steel cup. So I'm gonna transfer my gravy over. I have to do it very confidently and quick. Perfect. So yummy. For tomorrow and for today. There's definitely beef dripping at the bottom here, as you can see. You can feel free to use this in your gravy, but I've already done mine, so I'm just gonna discard that juice. Just going to thinly slice it. You can also slice it thinly to make sandwiches. At the bottom here, I could see it's definitely more medium rare. I'm so happy with it. Up here is definitely well done. Wow, look at this, guys. No, stop right here. Roast beef. Scoop in now mashed potatoes. A big piece. Then this corner will be for our Yorkshire pudding. Mine's not very even, but wow, it's very oily. Did I open the oven too early? I think that's fine. It's good for the first time. Yeah, it only rises one side, but it's still pretty though, so cool. Yeah, it's just because my timer went off. I didn't know how long I've had this in for, and it's very oily at the bottom. It's so cute. Like, it's crispy. What happened? It's like deflated really quickly.
This.
Look at how long. Ooh. How much was this?
$5.
Is it Cubano?
Oh, Berkshire.
It looks good. I put on a light layer of makeup today. I'm all dressed. I think I just need to put on like a light jacket or maybe a sweater because I'm going to take the car today and drive around Brooklyn, and I'll take you around, take you shopping, thrift shopping specifically. If you watch my vlogs, I know a lot of you enjoy my thrifting vlogs. So today I'm gonna take you around Brooklyn and go to some of my favorite thrift stores, just do some browsing. I just feel like in the mood to go shopping. As I have expressed this so many times before, that I don't like to buy things at retail prices and modern brands these days. The clothing quality is nowhere near the past quality. So that's why I prefer to shop secondhand, designer secondhand specifically. I like to go thrifting because I love going on a hunt and hunt for stuff that's well made, made from quality fabric. Those kind of things tend to last a lot longer. And I especially love hunting for designer stuff. It's just because they have better resale values, and I do want to just be more careful with the stuff that I bring into my wardrobe and into my home, and hope that you enjoy. But first, I am going to make myself an avocado toast because I got some really good avocado from Whole Foods. I also have sourdough bread that I cut into slices and I store them in the freezer. Look at how long this piece is. I woke up pretty early today. I made myself coffee this morning. I'm going to boil some eggs. I have 4 eggs here. I'm gonna make extra so then I can have soft-boiled eggs or jammy eggs in the fridge, but we can also snack on those as well. I'm going to try to finish my homemade chili crisps. I made this one a couple videos back. It's the best batch that I've ever made. And I don't think I can be able to recreate it, but I filmed the whole process and maybe I can rewatch it and then see how much of each ingredient that I used in this batch. It's like so flavorful. It's got fried garlic, shallots. It just has a really good amount of umami, saltiness, and oily, addicting flavor. And that's the thing with me whenever I cook. I never write down things. It's just because I don't know. Whenever I have an intention to write down, record things, my food turns out not as great. And whenever I make something that's really good, I don't have anything written down. Same thing that happens with this batch of pickled red onions that I made. It's also one of the best that I've made and I don't have anything written down and I'm so mad about it. Okay, I'm gonna bring this pot of water to a boil and then I'll add my eggs. I already took these eggs out from the fridge and they are slightly cold. I think it's best if you bring these eggs to room temp, but I find that it doesn't really matter too much. I'm gonna wait for this water to come to a boil and then I'm gonna add the eggs in and we'll boil them for exactly 6 minutes. The water should come to a boil in a second. I'm gonna transfer my coffee over. This is a bottle that I use to store my coffee. It fits perfectly by the door of the fridge. I got this slotted spoon. It's literally one of my favorite things that I've ever received. It's from Material Kitchen. Everything in my kitchen, all of the kitchen tools are all linked under my shop. My water is boiling. I'm going to use a slotted spoon and slowly drop in 1 egg at a time. Hey Siri, set alarm for 6 minutes. Okay, so I have 6 minutes on. I'm going to toast my bread. It's my cast iron. I'm going to use a piece of kitchen towel and then I'm going to drench it with olive oil and then use it to oil the entire pan just so we are not cooking on a dry pan. I also have to turn on the vent. Stick this and drizzle a really good amount of olive oil onto the toast piece itself, both sides. And if you have a heavy weight object like a metal piece that some people use to make smash burger with, you can also put it on top of the toaster. Then we are toasting both sides evenly. I'm gonna cut my avocado using one of my favorite knives. This one is from Material Kitchen as well. Be careful because I did cut my finger with this knife trying to slice open an onion. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a perfect avocado because I can tell by the hardness. So yeah, perfect. And what I usually do is dab it and lightly turn. And the easiest way to take off the pit is basically pinch it lightly and it will come off. Table plate. Okay, so eggs are ready. Add some ice and then cold water to start the cooking process. Squeeze in the avocado. Ooh, I can even do a whole avocado. It's because I don't like the fact that I am going to have this half and it tends to get brown in like 5 minutes. I don't know if a lot of you know that Vietnamese people like to eat avocado as a dessert. So basically, you can make yourself a little cup of avocado dessert by adding avocado with a little bit of condensed milk and some crushed ice. And that's literally it. It's basically like a pre-smoothie version. Or you can also add that into Vitamix and then make a smoothie. I would highly recommend lemon juice. Trader Joe, everything but the bagel seasoning. Let's peel our egg. I like to use my Muji chopsticks because the tips are very small. They are perfect to plate. I'm going to transfer some of the pickled red onion over to the lid so then we're not adding too much of the brine. Chili crisps. I'm going to reserve this oil and probably fry some eggs. Cut our egg. 2 quarters lengthwise. Place it on top. This is so impressive every time. Little drizzle of hot honey. Just like that. A little bit of black pepper. This is one of my favorite things to make. It's just so pretty and satisfying. I'm going to transfer this over to a clean plate. Cheers. It is so good. This is one of my favorite magnolia tree in my neighborhood. And I can see some blooms. They are about blooming a few weeks and I'm so excited. First stop is of course one of my favorites, Beacon's Closet. I cannot believe, like, what? These pieces are so perfect and I cannot wait to show you when I get home. The sun has come out as you can see, so I think it's a sign for me to keep going, because otherwise I was like, that's it for me today. I don't really need anything else, because I have never come across this situation where the first thrift store I've already scored these many pieces and I feel content. Like, I don't really need anything. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go to 10 Feet Single by Stella Dallas to look for a striped shirt. I can also shop on eBay as well, and that's what I always been on the lookout for. But anyways, I'm gonna show you what I got from Beacon's Closet. This is the Bushwick location. Everything is fairly priced. The selection is kind of hit and miss, but there are a lot of hidden treasures if you have time to go through every single hanger and rack. I would always go straight to the back where the main section are. I always go for the jackets and the shirts. So that's where I score these pieces, and then I browse their pant section, and then I found a pair of pants. These pair of pleated front white cotton trousers that comes with this drawstring at the waist from Daisy Studios. This is size small. It comes with a tag, so it's brand new. These were only $24.95. I tried them on and they are definitely a little bit loose on my waist, but the thing about these kind of pants is that it comes with the string where you can be able to tie and adjust the waist and how high you want the waist to sit on your body. But yeah, like, these are perfect. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I shared about Donnie's spring collection is giving me a lot of styling inspo, and they release a bunch of these khaki pants with the drawstring at the waist, and these are exactly what I've been looking for, and I'm just so excited. And I love Daisy Studios. So this is the first score. And then at the men's shirt section, I found this frame polo striped shirt. Size medium, it says it's a slim fit. I tried it on, it fits me perfectly. I love how quality the fabric feel. I love these kind of polo shirts to run errands and run around the city. It's $21.95. Lastly, it's this incredible chore barn style jacket. It's reversible, so initially I was going to go out to the checkout section at the front, and then I decided to stop for a little bit and browse the women's jacket rack, and I came across this one. It was originally like this. I felt the fabric is like a waxy, slightly shiny material, so I believe it's waterproof. It has signs of wear, especially at the collar here. I've got to figure out ways to wash it or bring it to the dry clean. The collar looks like this. Tried it on this side first and I wasn't too impressed, but the fit was very promising. Turned this jacket inside out and it is this faded orangey red. Immediately I knew it has to go home with me. I also love the contrasting color. If you wear it on the right side right here, then it's one color. There are these incredible pockets with the flap pocket here, and then this side there are pockets here as well, and then the contrasting color, and the fit's incredible. There's no tab on it, but on the buttons it says All Saint, and it was only $39.95. How incredible is this? I cannot believe. But yeah, this is the kind of jacket that will go with me for the rest of my life. It will never go out of style, and I just am obsessed with the color, especially this red side. I found a parking spot. This is what you have to do when you live in New York. Got something from 10 Feet Single by Sarah Dallas. I also popped in Sarah Dallas Living, the sister store next door. Didn't find anything, but they are a great place if you're looking for vintage textiles. Really great embroidery, cute little white cotton shirt or dresses. Lots of blankets, vintage blankets, and just textiles in general. If you're a designer, if you're a costume designer, and oh my gosh, it's like my dream. If it were to be my path, I always have so much fun in there. Tried on 2 rounds at 10 Feet Single by Sarah Dallas. I tried on probably like 10 shirts, but I found that the shirts that they carry are mostly size large and extra large vintage Ralph Lauren shirts, and they're humongous on me. I just didn't find anything that's exactly my kind of fit and the colorway that I wanted, so I got really lucky. I decided to browse the back section where they had extra shirts, extra jeans. These are a pair of shorts, as you can see, obviously. Levi's orange tab. This is Levi 550. Waist 32, length 11, so 11 inches inseam shorts. Wash black or dark gray color. A vintage 550. It came with a little tag that says in the 80 or something. I don't own any orange tab Levi's, and these are made in the US. Yeah, great pair of vintage, and the fit is amazing. They fit me perfectly oversized, but just really great overall, and the fabric is so thick and amazing, and I love it so much. Highly recommend thrifting in Brooklyn. I will see you when I'm home.
Teeth grinding is often caused by stress, and it'll erode your teeth.
Heretic is a tense thriller that takes on some pretty big ideas, though the boldest claims...
I do think that Damn Beauty wins it in terms of the most creative and interesting PR packages ever. I love how thoughtful everything is, and I'm so excited to share that they are launching the new Ginkgo Bounty Water Cream. Look at this imagery. It gives me so much inspiration. And let's open this inside. I'm definitely going to use this to steam my dumplings. Oh, how cute is this? I'm so obsessed. I'm going to save the sticker as well, but in here, oh my goodness. No way. Wow. This is beyond specious. And then there's some snack, and it came with this cute little bowl or shot glass. I'm not sure, maybe we use this to drink tea out of. And then this is the product. It is, again, the Ginkgo Bouncy Water Cream. I love this yellow and blue colorway. I'm gonna unbox this and show you in a second, but I believe there's also something here. How cute is this? Perfect for spring. I believe this is like a chopstick holder. Damn Beauty's Ginkgo Bouncy Water Cream is a lightweight gel-to cream moisturizer. It helps support collagen production and boost elasticity. I cannot wait to give this a try tonight, and stay tuned for my review.